Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 2 of The Pace and the Play. And as always, I'm John.
And I'm Gio.
This is Gio, yep. And today we're actually going to be talking about, well, it's going to be a little bit of a mix-up episode because Chelsea have to play tomorrow, and United already played. But how do you feel about Chelsea playing tomorrow? What do you think is going to happen?
Chelsea versus Spurs, always fairly confident in these kind of games, although these last couple of seasons have seen a little bit of some different results than I kind of want to see. But I'm confident we can get the win. Regarding where we're at least where we are at the table is kind of. I'm hoping that we can stay. Yeah, I think they're in 15th, 16th. I think around 15th. So.
I think you're better than Spurs this year.
Yeah, so I'm pretty confident we can get over the line and get 3 points and maintain our push for at least top 4.
Yeah, you're in fourth.
I think we're in 4th, right? So keeping then the hopes for the Champions League next season. If not, hoping that we can at least get it through.
Get to Europa?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's top 5 get Champions League.
Really? Okay.
Remember, the Champions League, from now on, it's the one where, like, 3 or 4 of the leagues get 5 teams qualify, depending on who goes further. So, like, if a Spanish team wins, they get 5 places, and if an English team gets 2nd place, or, like, runners-up, they also get 5.
Okay.
I think right now the teams the leagues that are looking like getting 5 spots are England, Spain, and Italy.
Okay.
Because I think, who is it Napoli or still in? I think it's Napoli. I think Juve just got knocked out, so.
Okay. So it'll be a bit interesting, but what about yourself? How's that Man United game sitting with you?
Not good. Not happy about it.
Yeah.
Personally, I said this in a TikTok I did. I think the March international break came at the absolute worst time for United because we had just won against Sociedad. We just won our game in the Premier League, and the team was finally, I guess, not gelling with the formation because like it's still a drastic change, but the players were getting used to the formation in a sense where like they could actually like get chances to the striker.
Okay.
And yesterday it was very, I guess, I even said it was toothless. Like, we created some chances.
You guys had a fair amount of chances.
It was not like those chances that like I would be like, how did we not score that? You know, it was like...
Yeah, a few of Bruno's headers like were kind of...
Okay, I mean, it's not going in.
They're not going to go in.
Unless it's like a freak accident.
Yeah, what else? There's a few long shots. Yeah, Garnacho shots that were way off.
Yeah, which honestly, I said that because the international break came at the worst time because Højlund was finally getting like his confidence back, and then he doesn't get played in this game, and Ruben Amorim says, "Oh, it's for tactical reason." I was like, "Well, it's not," because everything I've seen so far, Joshua Zirkzee is number 10.
Okay.
He's a number 10 or a shadow striker or a false 9. He is not a striker.
Yeah.
And playing him as the striker, I was just like, he's dropping back. So I see Joshua Zirkzee as a Dutch Harry Kane.
Okay.
He loves to come and get the ball.
Yeah.
He's not the striker that's like, I'm here, give me the ball, I'm gonna finish it.
So, yeah.
So what I didn't understand is why not just play Joshua Zirkzee like we did before the break in the number 10 role, and then Højlund up top.
Okay.
So I was like, a couple of tactical issues that I have with Ruben Amorim.
Okay.
But it's not his fault. I mean, this is a team basically built for Ten Hag, by Ten Hag.
Yeah.
So until this summer transfer window, which I hope we will actually buy him players, I can't really judge him. I also can't judge him because his system is so unique.
Yeah.
Like, Garnacho, or not Garnacho, but like Højlund goes and plays for Denmark, where he's the out-and-out striker, and they play a certain system where they get him the ball, right?
Exactly.
He comes back, and he plays in a Ruben Amorim system where he's supposed to get the ball, but all the other players, they don't, like Bruno Fernandes, right? Plays in the mid for Portugal, but then at United he still plays in the mid, but it's a completely different like role. So it's like, I can't get mad at him right now. If next season by like December we're still having the issue where players aren't adapting to the system, I don't want to say that it's Ruben Amorim's fault, because Ruben Amorim...
Well, I wouldn't say it's his fault. He's inheriting a different squad.
Yeah, but my thing is, you know how like it could, like when you're in a relationship, right? Like you break up with somebody, but it's not really your fault, but it's not her fault either. You know what I mean? Like, the system might just be so different that like it can't be translated to United.
Okay.
within like a reasonable time frame. Like eventually you could.
The time frame that could be given to.
Yeah, like eventually he will. If he was given like 3 years of just building the team, we'd probably have a team that's so perfectly molded to it, like Sporting was.
Okay.
Because that's why he was so good at Sporting, was because all the players were like molded by him for his system. Whereas like here it's like, okay, you're trying to put round pegs in square holes.
Okay.
And if he was given the time, I think he would be the guy. And I still think he can be the guy if we give him players and if our players currently adapt to his system. But that's really my dilemma with him, is like, if this is going to keep happening, like we have good form, but then international break comes and players just
and it ruins it.
Yeah. And
once they return.
It's like, whoa. Like, it's not his fault, but it's not,
Yeah.
And we can't just keep going
up and down, yeah.
It would be too far. But I guess also speaking like in terms of players, right? Like Joshua Zirkzee as a false nine, he would be like, I think Joshua Zirkzee would be perfect for a Liverpool system.
Okay.
Or under Klopp. Like Joshua Zirkzee would have been the next Firmino playing in the wingers, because he played in Garnacho with some just beautiful passes.
Yeah.
But Garnacho lately has been just out of it.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that like we tried to sell him in January. And now it's like, does he think he's gonna get sold in the summer, so he's not even trying
anymore?
Yeah,
that's fair. That could be there could be a motivation behind it, because if you consider it, like if you already know that you're on the chopping block, like what's the point? Well, then again, you also got to think about it that it's either that or now at this point, like all your performances matter because you are being sold, so you kind of want to be sold to
get that extra bread in.
You know. So I guess those are the two mentalities, but it kind of seems like, you know, he is kind of
like he's checked out right now.
Yeah, it feels like he's checking out because he knows he's being sold, which is quite unfortunate, because at his age you would hope that, you know.
I think he is the next Elanga. Like Elanga went to Nottingham Forest and he's really good now, and we sold him.
Yeah.
Well, we shouldn't have. And if we sell Garnacho, it's again a super young player that is going to develop really good.
Really good, yeah.
And is going to come back.
Especially because he's been playing in the Premier League for relatively long, the last couple of seasons. So he already has that experience that Prem teams would want, considering that they want a young. They would want a young midfielder. That's played in the Premier League.
And honestly, that's my main concern, is if we sell Alejandro Garnacho to a rival, because literally today he got linked to Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I was like, if we sell Alejandro Garnacho to Chelsea, and Chelsea give us Jadon Sancho back by giving us $5 million, I'm gonna lose my absolute mind.
Who knows? You know, like in this world, regarding transfers, you know, anything can happen. But I don't know how I would feel about it. I feel like that's just another. I was gonna say trade, but I guess a transfer that like.
It's like a youth.
Yeah, like a youth play, but like I get it in a sense, but I also don't, because like, what was the point of buying this guy anyways then? But just to kind of, I guess, to use him as a tool for a transfer, for a way to bring in somebody else. But then it's like, I don't know, is that really the whole reason why you spent money to bring him in? To bring him in to then send him back just so you could get it. Yeah, you know, there's a real future in, I guess, your transfer policy. Exactly. So that's what I fear, is if that's what we're going to continue doing, then like there is, besides like looking at a constant 15, 14, 16-year-olds in Brazil and South, you know, like if that's where we're gonna go, we're never gonna be winning anything, because at that point, like we're the Project 2030, like we need experience, and it's, you know, yes, it's 2025, but if we're trying to aim for Project 2030, you know, like we got to get these experienced players in now at this point, to mold the young players. That's another thing at United that I'm concerned about, because we keep getting linked to youth players, but like, where is he? Like, Lenny Yoro is doing good in defense because he has a Mazraoui around him. He has he has players that have experience, especially in other leagues as well. Yeah, you know. Whereas like, okay, I can understand why Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee aren't doing good, because there is no striker. There is nobody to teach them and also how to play in the Prem. Build the what's it called? Like, if I'm a Rasmus Højlund, right? Like, okay, I'm also young. I can't just go up to like a Garnacho or a Rashford and be like, you guys need to pass me the ball. Yeah, right? Whereas like, if I'm Lewandowski and I come to United and Garnacho or Rashford aren't passing to me, I can go up to them and be like,
what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
We need my team, and I think your team as well.
Yeah, exactly. We just need more
Experience.
experienced players to be in there.
It's great to buy youth and use youth, and I'm a big proponent of that. But it's not like take Lamine Yamal at Barcelona, right? He's mature for his age and he's doing good.
Yeah.
But he has Lewandowski there. He has Rafinha there.
He has a ton of players that are older to mold him into a professional and to have higher football like you.
Yeah.
You know, think differently about the game.
Yeah, because it's just this promotion of youth. I love it, but it has to be with a goal, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't just promote somebody and then expect them to be Ronaldo.
Exactly.
Like we didn't talk about this.
I completely agree with you. You know, it's just I feel like nowadays that's just having a lot of because you see the Lamine Yamals and Jamal Musialas and players like that pop out so young. You're expecting and hoping that your team has at least one of those players.
But also again, even with Jamal Musiala, right? He's got a Harry Kane. He's got a Goretzka. He's got a Kingsley Coman in there.
Yeah.
He has all this experience around him. It's not just about producing the talent, but it's also about being
able to mold them.
Yeah, having the team to mold the talent.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where we're ultimately at a loss. I don't know. Because for me, I don't know, Reece James is one of the last few players that was in that Champions League winning team, you know?
So he's your last.
So he's one of our last actual experienced players that has won a meaningful trophy.
Well, I would say João Felix is experienced now.
Yeah, but we're not even playing him as often as we are, you know? If you think about it like that, he does have experience, and I feel like he should be starting over some of these players that should be starting. But I feel like I don't even Mudryk. I love him, but at this point, he hasn't been.
He's got to go.
I think so.
Are you saying he's got to go? It's time to go.
I think so. I feel like it's been long, but it's also everybody's also on the fence with him, and I can see why, because he
had that talent.
He does have that talent, you know, and it is noticeable when he is able to produce. It's just with everything going on back at home, and I imagine he's had family members affected and friends affected. So so I can't imagine that every day you wake up and hearing something from back home that you're just expected to be normal.
Take a while.
But then again, but everybody treats it differently, you know, like Usyk, for example, he fought in it, and now he's a undisputed. Well, he was a undisputed boxing.
True. I would say your template though is because I feel like you've had it worse. We've had Anthony Elanga go to Nottingham Forest and become a good player. You've had a Christian
Pulisic go
to AC Milan.
Yeah.
And is now I wouldn't say he's top tier, but he's definitely doing great.
We've had Lewis Hall, he's gone to Newcastle. Tino Livramento, I think he's also gone to Newcastle.
Yeah, what happened there? I thought you guys bought him and then you just sold him right after. I was like, what?
Who?
Livramento.
No, I think he came up through our youth academy.
Wasn't he at Southampton? Oh, was he at loan?
He was on loan at Southampton.
Oh, okay.
No, he came up through our youth academy, but then of Chelsea being Chelsea, we having too many players, we were like, oh yeah, sure, we can get rid of them. Yeah, we can just sell them.
Your squad is massive.
I know, and I hate it because there's gonna be more times like this where we are kind of okay, well, we're not playing you, so we're okay with letting you go, and then you start becoming a core of a rival team, you know, or an opposition in the same league at least, you know. Lewis Hall and Tino Livramento are pretty crucial to that Newcastle team.
And Newcastle, obviously, they have the funds.
Yeah.
So they just keep building slowly.
And so it kind of seems more like they're developing the relationship where look, for Chelsea, unfortunately, where it's look, you're not using these young players.
Give me.
Give me them, you know. Give me them. So, that's what I also hope that. But it sucks because then we all have also I was really annoyed at Tomori once we sold Tomori. Oh my God, I was so upset once we sold Tomori.
He is such a good center back. Oh my God. If he comes back to the Prem, oh my God.
Yeah, I pray that. Yeah, I pray that he is we pursue him, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. Same thing with like Loftus-Cheek. He's doing pretty good at AC Milan, you know. So it's interesting seeing the players that we sell to other teams playing better than.
Could that be though that Italy is a slower league?
It could be. It could be that it is just a different. It's just a different pace of football to play, and different styles, and it's easier for some players than others, and so I would agree to that, but.
I think the saving grace is like a Fikayo Tomori. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing the first name right, but he's done well at AC Milan in Serie A, but he's also proven himself in the Champions League.
That's what I was gonna say.
So it's like okay, he has some pedigree to him.
Yeah, he's able to perform at the highest level against the best teams.
It's not like selling. I don't know. Let's make up like a play. It's not like selling like I don't know. Like let's say Chelsea have a player named Damian Wayne, Batman. Yeah. Batman's son. And then they sell him to Empoli. And he tears it up at Empoli. But like it's just the Serie A. Like
we have like a player that I'm really liking, Cesare Cazadei. Like what if he came from the Serie A, and what if we sell him to, I don't know, some Spanish team? Like what if Barcelona comes knocking and like, oh, we love how he plays, and then boom, now he's booming, going off and
it's like, well, I'm never getting him back.
Yeah, literally. And I was like, damn, okay, well.
Maybe when he's cool. Like 34.
Literally. We sold him for what? 10 million?
Now he's worth like 90.
It was like, cool.
Especially like if you sell to like big teams. Like,
yeah. So it's like, oh.
Like you're never getting Livramento back unless you. Like,
no, we are never getting Livramento. Literally. So it's so it's at that point, but then we would have never got a Malo Gusto, but so it's like, whatever. But I would have preferred maybe having more homegrown talent. That's just me.
Yeah.
I always hear how good the academy is, but I almost rarely ever see it.
So many.
That's why I would prefer that since we do have such a strong academy, why don't we actually see it where we like the only reason why Mason Mount, Reece James, and players like that came through was because we had a transfer ban.
Yeah.
So that's the unfortunate reality where like that's the only time we can actually see our youth coming through.
Yeah.
But it's like, so it's just unfortunate circumstances. So I hope that we get to.
I would say your youth academy is like what Everton is as a club.
Yeah.
Like you buy young, you make them play good, and then you sell them for money.
Yeah.
So like, your youth academy is like a lower tier Premier League
team. No, it is. They always do pretty.
Quality, but yeah.
Yeah, they always do pretty well, and then in the academy, and then once they shine on stage, I feel like a lot of their academy players are like scouted and noticed right away once they get on the field. But
like one or two.
Yeah, there's always a few that always get sought after. I feel like
at United it's a little different. Like where we sign all these youth academy players. Mm-hmm. And then we just never see them.
Yeah.
Under Ten Hag, we started to see more of it. Mm-hmm. But like I know, like under Mourinho, under Van Gaal,
oh dude, nobody.
We signed so many youth players. Like I remember those transfer windows, and all we got out of it was a Scott McTominay.
Yeah, literally. So, but then now he's tearing it up.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Series, so it's kind of like, I don't know.
But with the Scott McTominay thing, I will say though is like he's played in the Champions League for Napoli and he hasn't been as good.
Yeah. Okay.
In the Serie A, he's great.
Yeah.
But he hasn't had that like moment of, I'm also good in
the Champions League. Okay.
So it's like, I'm sad. Like I'm not sad that he's doing good, but I'm sad that he couldn't do that at United.
Which is fair. I mean.
We also were just a really unstable club, though, for a while. We still are, I mean. But speaking of instability, we're going to move on to talk about the second part of this podcast. And I guess we'll start with your team, because they seem to be the most unstable currently. I mean, you just sacked a driver after 2 races in Liam Lawson, which we predicted might happen last.
Yeah, we predicted that it would happen. And, I mean, hey. Trigger happy team kind of figured that it would have happened sooner rather than later. We did say a max of 5 races, but that was
I was just so surprised.
I was too, but if you think about it, like, I don't know, it's hard knowing that I guess they picked the wrong one to elevate, in Yuki rather than Lawson, because I feel like they did kind of mess up Lawson's, like, reputation now, because like
his reputation is in the gutter.
Yeah.
But I did say this. I think Lawson will have a better F1 career, or at least start to an F1 career at Racing Bulls than Red Bull. Like I think this is a blessing in disguise for Lawson.
I agree.
Because I think the Racing Bulls car is a lot more.
And it's so much pressure on Yuki too, unneeded pressure too.
Oh, on Yuki, it's an insane amount of pressure now.
But I've been thinking to myself that if he even lands anywhere around P10, like just to get a little bit of points, is better than anything.
Than Lawson.
Yeah. If he doesn't crash and he's able to get to around P10, P9, maybe get some points on the board, that's better than.
I think this race, Yuki Tsunoda at Japan, because this race is Japan, it'll be a real telltale because Yuki's a good driver.
He is.
In my opinion, he's a good driver. He should have had the Red Bull seat from the start.
I agree with you. I can't lie to you.
But if even he can't get the car to do what he needs to do, then it really is just the car.
Well, I know that they're doing a bunch of upgrades soon. It's their first round of upgrades, I believe.
I think every team's bringing upgrades. Ferrari, I know, are bringing upgrades. Haas are bringing upgrades.
So I would hope that they've taken what they've seen from how Lawson races, and are able to.
Well, actually, the Lawson interviews are pretty interesting because we thought it was just, we honestly thought, especially me, I just thought that Red Bull built a car around Verstappen. Apparently, Lawson was saying that it's not just built around Verstappen. It's just that the car is super aggressive on the front end, and that's why he loses the back end so much. Which is kind of concerning because the way Yuki Tsunoda drives is also very aggressive.
Yeah,
like on the
very
line.
aggressive.
And so far, the only person that's been able to, I guess, master the car or at least control it has been Verstappen.
Yeah, so it's just. It's one of those things where Red Bull has kind of put themselves in a bit of a scenario that they never would have really anticipated because of their drivers last season. And I remember seeing, and now looking back, now that I'm actually going through Drive to Survive, that where there is like an argument between Horner and Toto and I think all of the leaders in F1 where Toto is saying you guys need to fix your car because Sergio has been complaining about it this whole And now, like, I saw that and I was like, holy crap, like, it's been kind of obvious.
It's props to Verstappen for being able to drive that car. But I think the car is good. Well, this year it's not as good as it's been in previous years.
No, it hasn't. But
it's just so sad. Like, I don't think you could put even if you put, like, a Lewis Hamilton or, like, a Lando Norris or a Charles Leclerc in that car, I don't think they'd be able to. They do better than Lawson, obviously, but it wouldn't be.
They'd be able to handle it better than Lawson.
It would be like. They'd still.
But they wouldn't be able to. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to get the max out of that car.
Yeah, and it's. I don't know where Red Bull go from here though.
It's just I think at this point I would hope that they. Obviously, I think they have said that they are going to give Yuki until the end of the season.
Yeah.
So I would hope that. They not only start building for
cut to 2 weeks from now. Yuki Tsunoda has been demoted to
dude, I know, and then they're gonna call back Sergio Perez. So they're gonna apologize to him.
Sorry,
come back, please save us. They're gonna call Daniel Ricciardo. Speed dial. Knowing how Horner is.
I don't. Honestly, I don't even think it's Christian Horner. I think it's Helmut Marko. Like the actual team owner, the team owner. Like I feel like he doesn't actually know what is going on in his team. Like he doesn't know how aggressive his car is on the front end, so he doesn't know how to pick a driver to match that style. I think he's just so stuck on, oh my god, look what we did with Verstappen. We gotta get the next guy.
No, I agree. It's just finding the next guy that can drive that car at the best that it can.
Hit me up.
Be done.
Hit me up. I'll figure it out, I promise.
But it's interesting. Seeing how we can at least push for next season at least, because
new engines next season.
Well, yeah, I would hope that now at this point we should at least look towards this season just to
keep focusing on
the car. We'll focus on the car for this season just so that way next season we're in a better position, because if we don't focus on the car. What's the.
You also have to take into account, like, every team next season has to redo their engines because it's new engine regulations for next season. Also, you're losing the Honda sponsorship, as in like you're gonna be your engine is gonna be Ford.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, especially with Cadillac coming in as well. Being
As a works team, though, they're like a fully independent team. Ford is like I guess part of the Red Bull team now, so you guys are.
Yeah, but I also
Red
think
Bull Ford.
Yeah, so I don't know. It'll be interesting. I don't know how their engines will do in
My only concern is
in
like
the F1, I should say.
we've seen so many instances of a team leaving or just entering the sport like outright or like leaving and coming back. Like Honda when they first came back into the sport in the black McLaren Honda days where it was Fernando Alonso the car and he called it a GP2 engine. It's how quickly can your engine manufacturer, like even Cadillac and Ford, for example, but I guess it's going to be different next year because every car has to design a new engine, basically.
Yeah.
So there'll be more of a level playing field, but it'll still be interesting to see how well they can actually develop an engine. Like, we saw when Renault came back, now the Alpine team. They had a good engine, but it was just so unreliable.
It was, yeah.
So, like, will Ford or Cadillac be able to, like, I guess, balance their engine, like, performance and this? Or and speed or reliability? Or is it going to be, like, are we going to see, like, a reliable engine like the Honda back in 2017, but it just didn't have enough power? Like, that's what I think Red Bull took a big gamble, I guess.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was a huge gamble, especially with how everything's going, like, right now.
Yeah. To ask Ford to, like, come into... Cadillac, I could see having more, I guess, stability in terms of the coming into the sport because I mean they have works teams in other championships. Ford also, but like Cadillac, I don't know. I have more confidence in a Cadillac works team than a Red Bull powered Ford team.
I agree. So I don't know. It'll be interesting next season. Where I just say focus on what you could do this season because next season considering
it's gonna be a crapshoot for a while.
Yeah, it will be because I think I already feel like we're just gonna be entering into a rebuilding phase for Red Bull. I definitely think so. I'd say we're probably gonna be. I wouldn't say we're gonna be nearing the bottom or anything like that. No. I wouldn't say anything crazy.
You'll still be at the top.
Yeah, I would say instead of being, I'd say we'll probably be around P4.
I feel like this Red Bull, I guess this year and next year will be like what Mercedes was when the new regulations came in 2022.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Definitely better than the midfield, but not
pushing for
a second or third team.
Exactly.
Like I think Mercedes has gotten over their troubles. I think Ferrari are figuring out their troubles. Except I hope that they're not pulling another Ferrari this race.
Yeah,
Jeez, I can't go through another double.
What was that?
So in China, Leclerc got disqualified because the car came in, I think, half a kilogram underweight, like after the race. That's why he got disqualified. And Lewis Hamilton got disqualified because the width of I think it was the rear wing was 0.04 millimeters too short or too like or wide. It was basically 0.04 millimeters wide or more narrow than it should have been by regulation. So he got disqualified because of that.
Oh wow!
He still kept his sprint race win. Right, that still counted. But I can't go through another season, or I can't go through another week this early in the season where like Ferrari pull a Ferrari. I've had like please.
That's interesting. That's so.
It's strict.
Yeah,
but I mean, regulations are regulations. Like you can't.
Yeah, they are. So you can't really.
I just hope that. So I guess let's talk a little bit about Japan this coming weekend. What are your thoughts? Are you gonna have Yuki Tsunoda?
Yuki Tsunoda winning it all. Imagine.
Okay.
All reality, I say Yuki Tsunoda, anything around P10.
So within the points?
Within points is good. Is a great race for Yuki for his debut in a Red Bull.
Yeah.
With Max, I pray you push, man. Yuki's not winning it, so I hope he does, man. It has to be Max, man. You know, he has to put him on his back. But hopefully he can get the job done. What about yourself?
I have to see first practice before I predict the Ferrari win, because I don't know how the upgrades will affect the car. Because there's been instances where Ferrari have put upgrades on the car and it's been worse.
Okay.
But I think it's gonna be a McLaren win again.
I think so as well.
I think they're just
only one DRS though.
Yeah, but it's also a track, like, the Ferrari is good on its tires, and I wouldn't say that Japan is a track that, like, gives too much of an advantage by having great tires, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, they'll be able to go long in the stints.
Yeah.
But
it's a one-stop race.
Yeah, it's not like it's going to be, like, I don't know, like, it's not going to give them that much of an advantage, right? As maybe, like, a track like Baku or Canada, where like the traction zones are just so important. So like if you could save your tires, you could really extend the stint.
Yeah.
And not have to get an extra stop. I think the McLaren, I don't know if they're bringing upgrades, but the car is just, I wouldn't say it's like super far ahead of everybody else, but it's definitely the clear favorite right now. So until I see the Mercedes and the Ferrari upgrades and how good Red Bull have either upgraded the car or how comfortable Verstappen has gotten with it, I'm gonna predict a Lando Norris win.
Yeah.
And an Oscar Piastri
P2.
I feel like an Oscar Piastri third. I honestly think I would predict George Russell to get second. I think he's really comfortable in that Mercedes, even though it's not the best car. He has like a real like understanding of the car and how to get the best out of it.
Yeah.
As in terms for Ferrari, I hope either Hamilton or Leclerc get fourth. Right now, it looks like Leclerc has more outright pace than Hamilton.
Yeah.
In the Ferrari, so I'm leaning towards a Leclerc over Hamilton finish this weekend. Hamilton is getting used to the car. I just need to see more raw pace out of him.
Yeah.
Like raw pace.
I agree.
He's getting used to the car, which is great. Now I need to see. Okay, push.
Yeah, no, it's time for
Because I think that was my frustration with the Carlos Sainz Charles Leclerc era, was that both great drivers, but there was a clear Charles was definitely faster.
Yeah.
Sainz was more comfortable in the car, but Charles was faster.
Was way faster.
And I'd love to have two drivers that are comfortable and fast. Because that's when you could like towards the end of a race, you could have one driver back up another driver into the other, or like do like different team strategy things. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I'd predict the fourth place finish for Leclerc, maybe like a sixth for Hamilton. Here's an honest oddball prediction. Ollie Behrman will bring the Haas up again, and I keep predicting that every weekend he'll bring. I honestly think Ollie Behrman will finish in the points in that Haas. Also, shout out to the Haas livery for Japan. Beautiful.
That is a beautiful car.
It is an amazing livery.
It is a beautiful car.
But that's not my oddball prediction. My oddball prediction is that Liam Lawson will get like 8th.
8th? That'll be hilarious, dude. That'll be hilarious. Liam Lawson's gonna come back to win it. He's gonna come back to win it.
Can you imagine the headlines?
Oh, dude, that'd be crazy.
Liam Lawson wins Japan in a racing bull.
Or he'll be second. If he'll be second, that'll be crazy. Likelihood of it though, I don't know. I feel like he'll be a lot more comfortable in the car. Oh, he'll be way more comfortable in that car, so I don't see him finishing P20.
P20?
So, I don't think he'll end up being P20. He'll probably be knowing him, I'd probably say he'll be probably around the points. He'll probably be like 11, 12, 11, 10. 12? Yeah, like on the
My prediction is... My bold prediction for this week, if Liam Lawson finishes... I should clarify. If Liam Lawson finishes the race, P8. P8 right now. Clip that, chat.
P? Okay.
He gets P20.
He is...
I just get clowned.
I know, dude. That'd be so funny.
But... Yeah, and then... Okay, so you've predicted your Chelsea outcome. I guess I'll talk a little bit to finish the episode, because I talked a little bit about United and how disappointed I am. I'm going to talk a little bit about United going into the weekend. We face Manchester City, the Manchester derby. For the love of God, I hope that like we have some fight in us, like some fire in us. It is a derby, so I pray that like, okay, the players will be up for it. They'll be like more motivated, right? I wouldn't predict a loss. I can't predict a loss in a derby because I think anything can happen in a derby. But I can't consciously predict a win after our last performance, so I'm gonna predict a 0-0 draw. Because I don't think we're scoring.
I don't think that's happening.
I don't think we're scoring. I just hope that we can defend to where they don't score either.
Well, that happening, I don't know. Well, who knows?
Because I don't think City have been like red hot, like on fire form this season either.
No, they haven't been, but I still think that they're good enough to beat
us right now. Yeah, I think City are good enough to beat us right now in terms of form.
In terms of form.
But Ruben Amorim did beat Pep Guardiola with the Sporting side, so let's see if that could translate. You know.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna predict a 0-0 draw. That's my Manchester United prediction, I guess.
That's fair. And then
I don't think we're gonna score. No. I just don't see who's gonna. Because I think Bruno's gonna be put back into the like center mid position, not even the cam.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think he's just too far. Like he's not in his best position.
Okay.
And I don't think we're gonna feed whoever the striker will be, Joshua Zirkzee or Højlund.
Yeah.
I just don't think we can feed them with our current crop of players. So.
Who knows?
I predict a 0-0 draw. But other than that, is there anything else you'd like to mention?
As of now, I just hope that Yuki finishes the race and finishes.
No, you're just hoping he finishes.
Finishes P10.
P10.
P10
okay.
at least.
Fair enough.
At the very least.
In terms of F1.
In terms of F1.
I just hope Ferrari doesn't pull in a Ferrari.
Fair. Yeah. That is true.
I just hope everything goes okay-ish this weekend. I hope the upgrades are actually good. Like, I hope we generally got
better ones.
Upgrades that are
I'm
good.
more concerned about Red Bull than I am with Chelsea at the moment. That's for sure.
Oh, like in terms of stability and like how good of a season they're going to have?
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I am definitely more concerned by United than Ferrari.
Although,
like, Ferrari have, like, there's always the probability that Ferrari will do something Ferrari-esque.
Yeah.
But the car is good. The drivers are getting comfortable with the car.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Whereas United, it's...
you gotta wait for that season to come, the transfer market.
I'm kind of just hoping that we... honestly, I'm
just sell the team. Just put the team. The team's all you can just sell your shares of Man United stock. Tank the club worth.
Tank the club so somebody can go buy it. Some rich guy can go buy it.
Yeah. So all the Man U fans to do that.
I'll be honest with you, I'm looking forward to this summer transfer window because I think it's going to be a big transfer window in terms of everybody buying a bunch of players.
Mm-hmm.
But specifically for United, I'm nervous because everything I'm hearing, like everything I'm reading or like watching or like listening to, are saying we're going to go for youth players, and I don't think that's like youth players that will go into the first team. But I don't think that's what we should be doing. We need
experience.
A spine. We need a spine.
No, you had Casemiro in there.
Casemiro's leaving though. He has to leave. He has another year on his contract. If he doesn't leave,
they're gonna do something. They're gonna pull a Man U and give him a 1-year contract.
Another year? Oh.
Yeah, and give him another year.
His legs are gone though. He has the ability to play. I personally think he has like the mental ability to.
Yeah, he has the IQ.
He has to be, but he can't get to the ball. His legs are gone.
Nah,
the game's left him.
I think Man U's gonna do something like that.
I honestly am worried about this summer transfer window for Manchester United. I am honestly worried. But let us know, guys. Do you guys agree with our F1 takes?
F1 takes are.
And that Liam Lawson take. I know some of you will agree. I hope.
Oh God, I hope that doesn't happen.
What do you think the reaction from Red Bull will be if he gets like a points finish? If by some miracle he wins the race.
I don't know. It'll be not outrage, but it'll definitely be like questioning. Questioning
what just happened. Fair enough.
What the car truly, like how bad the car truly is.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Like okay. How I would say the car's bad. I would say how unstable.
Undrivable.
Yeah, there you go. Undrivable the car is.
Mm-hmm.
But like how it
Well, who
goes.
knows?
Let us know in the comments. You guys agree with our takes? Are you guys excited for the games and the race coming up? And
Yes.
we'll see you guys in the next video.